This is Robert Blackman. I'm very excited to do this webinar this evening to kind of give an insight to what I do every single month. If you got a pen and paper, I want you to grab that so you can write down some notes tonight. I'm going to go over exactly how I use my recruiting system and how you can start using it too. And more importantly, I want you to kind of pick up some confidence tonight, pick up some tips, whether you're part-time, whether you're full-time, it doesn't matter. Whether you're brand new or whether you're a seasoned veteran. Tonight, I know that you're going to be able to pick up some tips. I want you to write down tonight, I'm going to give you some numbers here, January through July so far of how many people I've recruited into my programs. And I'm really not been working full-time, although I am a full-time network marketer. I've been doing a lot of coaching, a lot of consulting. I've been doing a lot of copywriting for people. So my business really hasn't been my main focus, okay, as far as recruiting people into my main businesses. I have two businesses. I have a primary business, and then I have my ProfitLeads.com business, which is a generic lead generation company. So in January, I put in 38 people. In February, I put in 49. March, I put in 32 people. April, I did 27. Had a couple of big clients. I spent a lot of time traveling, so I didn't do too well in April. May, though, I came back. I did 67 people in May. I did 41 people in June. And so far in July, I've done 7 people in 3 days. And I'm getting to the point, once we get September going, right after I come out of August where the kids are going back to school, I'm going to be doing a 90-day blitz myself. And I'm hoping to do those numbers on average on a weekly basis. So if you're with me tonight on a calculator, we're going to add that up. 38 plus 49 plus 32 plus 27 plus 67 plus 41 divided by 6 months. That's an average of 42 people a month. So actually it's a little bit better than one a day. You divide that by 30, you're looking at 1.41 people a day. So tonight I do feel qualified to teach you how you can do this. And I'm going to go over very quickly my system of how I use it and how the system works on a daily basis. And again, this has been part-time for me, and I want to let you know that you can do it. It's very simple. Once you get the right mindset and once you start looking at making this type of a system a priority for you, okay? So let's get into it tonight. Number one, there's some important stats that you need to know about network marketing, and I want you to feel comfortable about, to understand. I've been in the business over 32 years. Here is the truth. The majority of people that you sponsor will do nothing. That's just reality. That has nothing to do with you, has nothing to do with your program. That has to do with them. This is a volunteer army that you're bringing into your business. And volunteers sometimes drop off the face of the earth. And so you have to realize that happens to me. The majority of those 1.4 people a day that I put in have done nothing. But I'm always looking for leaders, and I'm always looking for those people to stay with me long enough so they can develop themselves into a leader, okay? So it's very important to know. So if you sponsor people in the past, they don't do anything, hey, welcome to the club. That's just the way the business works because it's a volunteer army. The minority of the people, which is everybody on this call tonight, I'm going to put you in the minority, they learn duplication. I had to learn it. I did not want to be just a network marketing salesperson, which I eventually did because I had a big enough reason why. I was very, very motivated to get out of the printing business that I was with my father who owned it. I was never going to be able to take over the family business, and so the only way that I could get financial freedom and to become free was to do network marketing. So I learned how to duplicate. So although tonight I'm going to show you how I sponsored at least one person a day, I'm not one of those people that just goes out and signs people up and just forgets about them. I'm always looking for duplication. So out of those 30 people a month or an average of 42 people a month, I'm looking for 4 or 5 people each and every month that will duplicate. And that's the minority. And remember, duplication is something that anybody can do. Duplication is not something that you have to get advanced to do. The hardest thing to get independent entrepreneurs to do is to follow a system. And I'm going to say that again because that's one of the most profound things I can ever teach you tonight. The hardest thing to get independent entrepreneurs to do is to follow a system. Why? Because we're all independent. We're all entrepreneurs. We're all bullheaded. We have a vision of what we want to do, and we want to go do it. Hell or high water, we're going to make it work, okay? That's not always the case in network marketing. In traditional business, when I was in the printing company, that worked for me. But in traditional business, it works, but in network marketing, it just doesn't. So you have to be very careful when you're looking at yourself, and you have to understand that you can duplicate. You have to come up with a system, even being so independent in this business. You have to follow a system. And I always remember saying to my dad when I went up to Phillips Petroleum, we always called on Phillips 66, I always felt like I was a bunch of cattle in a herd, that I was being herded down the hallway, herded into the elevators, herded into the meeting rooms, just so I can meet with somebody and give them a quote on the printing. It just took like 30 minutes. And I go, this system is so slow. And he goes, well, that's corporate America. So a lot of us on the call tonight are independent thinkers. So I want you to be open about my system. You don't have to use my personal system, but I want you to know that I had to draw a line in the sand years ago and say, you know what, Robert, you're all over the map. You call 20 people one day, then you don't call people for 3 days. You work for a month, then you don't work for a month in your business. Your check goes up the month you didn't work, and then the next month you go back to work and your check goes down. What the heck is going on? So I realized, and I spoke to a gentleman that was making $250,000 a month in a program. He was trying to recruit me, and he says, look, the key to my success is I have found a system, and I get everybody in my team to duplicate it. And for those people that don't want to duplicate it, they're not going to last anyway. They may go out and find a little bit of success, but their people eventually come into the system. And so I learned from this gentleman. I go, so you're making $250,000 a month? And he goes, yes, and I have a boss. And I go, who's your boss? He goes, the system. So I want you to write that down today. I want you to write down that you do have a boss in network marketing. We all hate bosses. We don't like them. We don't want anyone to tell us what to do. But guess what? If you're going to be successful in duplicating network marketing, you have to have a boss, and that boss is a system. I don't care if that system is warm marketing, where you're doing meetings. I don't care if that system is completely internet marketing. I've got friends that say I never call leads, and I got other friends that say I don't even have a website. So see, it doesn't matter, but you've got to have a boss, and that has to be a system that you sell out to, that you believe in, and you start seeing results. I'm sold out to my system because part-time I put in 242 people so far this year. Part-time. 242 people. Part-time in 6 months. I know some people that have never put that many people in their entire career. And I'm getting people out of that to duplicate. I'm getting people out of that to go out and become leaders. Okay? So why? Because I teach them the same thing. Guess what, guys? We all got a boss. They look at me and they go, are you the boss, Robert? And I go, no, I'm not. But the system is, okay? So that's something to write down and remember tonight. Now, warm marketing, we all know that. That's family, friends, and meetings. Guess what? It still works. And then we also have cold marketing. And cold marketing is prospects from ads, Facebook, buying leads. I've got a lead company. The reason I own a lead company or I'm the master distributor for it is because of the fact that I ran out of people to talk to. And I bought everybody's leads in the world, and I decided that I wanted to go out and hire webmasters to generate my own leads because I was spending $4,000 or $5,000 a month on ads and leads. So I got into the lead business, and it changed my life forever because now I never run out of people to talk to. Now, 58% of the people in our lead business, just a stat to throw out to you about network marketers, 58% of the people that ever buy leads from us, they never open them up, okay? So that's just a reality. That's procrastination. Go back up to point one. The majority do nothing. In our lead company, 58% of the people do nothing. But you know what the average auto ship is? 6 months. So we have people who are buying our product for 6 months that never use it. That may seem a little strange, but guess what? All of us can go into our shelves and our cabinets if we've ever been into a nutritional program, and I guarantee you if there's not an outdated product, a pill or a juice or a powder of some kind that you should be throwing away right now because it's outdated, you've got some unused ones in there. Or when you did summer cleaning or you went through Christmas that you've thrown stuff out. I know I have, okay? So that's just the reality. It could be higher than 58% in your program if people don't use your product, but you have to understand that's the system, okay? And I spent a lot of my career trying to get that 58% down to 0, and I realized that I was spending all my time with the wrong people. What I wanted to do is spend my time with the 42% of the people who did open up those leads, okay? So that's the difference. So don't get in a position to where you're trying to be a boss and you're trying to get people to change their behavior. All you can do is be a leader, put it out there, and then work with those 42%. That's my mindset every single day. I don't beg the 58% to change. I offer the 42% my help, and they ask for it and they get it. 95% of the people that open up our leads never call anyone. How do I know that? Because I've done studies with our team, and I've asked them, have you called the leads? They go, no, well, we've emailed them. Well, we've mailed them. But no, I don't like talking to people. I'm afraid of rejection. Okay? Again, that's the system. The system is 95% of the people will never call any leads. Hey, so then who are you working with? Are you trying to change the behavior of the 95%? No. I go out and I work with those 5%. So if I have 100 people in my group, guess what I know? I know that 95 out of 100, and write this number down. If you have 100 people in your downline, I guarantee you 95 out of 100, or very close to that, aren't doing a doggone thing about getting on the phone, whether it's calling their warm leads or they're calling the purchase leads. They're just not doing it. And if they do call people, they're doing it inconsistently. I call people every single day. I brush my teeth every day. I eat every day. I take a shower every day. I wash my clothes every day. I kiss my wife every day. I fix my kids' breakfast every day, and I call leads every day. That's my system. That's the system here at the Blackman household. I have to call people, because if I don't call people, then I'm part of the 95%. Okay? So who do I work with? I work with 5 out of 100 every single month on my team. These are the people that do what? I want to do 3-way calls with you, Robert. Hey, Robert, tell me about the comp plan. I don't quite understand if we get to this bonus, how do I get to the first pin level? What do I do? Those are the 5%. That's the system. That's the stats. So don't stress out about the 95%. Let them be, okay? Let them be. Thankfully, you can see the difference between 95 and 58. Maybe that different percentage there will email or at least mail their leads. Okay, on page 113 of my book, MLM Big Money, I've got a warm market letter that you can take and change. At least mail the warm market leads. At least mail the cold market leads, so you get some kind of activity from people, okay? That's the difference in people who succeed long-term in this business and those that don't. So where are you right now money-wise in your particular MLM or your network marketing business? Where are you? If you want to make more money, you have to start doing the math. That's it. I don't care what your pay plan is. I don't care how hot and sexy your product is. I don't care how much your product makes sense, that every business person on the block would want to do it. I don't care about that. I don't care if it's the cheapest. I don't care if it's the best quality. I don't care if you've got 100% commissions. I don't care what program, your product or service you promote. You have to do the math. There's always going to be those people that create programs and create systems that will set up and benefit from everybody doing the work. And then there's the illusion that you can go out to the beach every day. There's the illusion that you can be happy every day because you're getting automation to do everything. But folks, that's a very, very small percentage of the people. Okay? And as I have said several times in my career, if you want to know the truth about network marketing, you take what somebody says and you cut it in half. Then you cut it in half again, and then you have half the truth, okay? So when I hear these big hype numbers, I just don't believe them, because I've been a consultant to most top network marketers and over 15 different network marketing companies where they've hired me as a consultant. Most of what you read is BS. It just is. That's part of the facts. The numbers I gave you today, they are not BS. I could bring you into my office and I could show those to you. Plus, 1.4 a day is not really that unrealistic for a full-time networker that's been in the business 32 years. Some of you probably think I would be doing a lot more than that. But again, I'm working at part-time. So you've got to get involved in the math. If you want your checkbook to be bigger, which is the math, you want more money to pay all your bills, and you want to have extra money. You want to stop overdraft charges. You want to stop worrying about when we go out to eat or not, then you've got to start doing the math in your business and let that help you. You have to start making contacts, more contacts, period. That's it. That's the math. If you want more money, you need to contact more people. That's just a simple arithmetic equation. Yes, there are people that will say, I sponsor 3 people and now I'm at the top of the plan and all I do is work in debt. Hallelujah, God bless you, and if you're one of them, good. But that's not the majority. I know every week somewhere in the United States somebody wins the lottery, but the majority of people buy a ticket and pay that winner. I know at the racetrack here in Oklahoma City at Remington Park, there's always a horse that wins. There's always somebody that wins the daily double and the trifecta. But guess what? Everybody who loses pays for their ticket, okay, pays their winning ticket. So I understand all of those anomalies. But what I'm talking about is if you want to wake up and look at yourself in the mirror and say, I have a secure network marketing income, and I'm going to go write my own paycheck, and then I'm going to go find 1 or 2 leaders that are going to do the same thing, you have to start making more contacts, and you have to start doing it on a daily, weekly, and monthly basis. I do it every single day part-time for the last 6 months, and look at the results that I'm getting. You have to stop waiting for change, folks. You have to stop waiting for that person to come in that's going to change your life. You have to go find that person. You've got to be that person. So what I decided to do years ago when I was in the printing business and I was in network marketing, I was so frustrated I decided to say this. I'm going to call 50 people a day. 50 people a day times 20 days out of the month. 50 times 20 in Oklahoma equals 1,000, okay? 1,000 people a month I was going to call over the next 12 months because I believed in it. I'd met so many people that were doing it, and I just said, there's got to be something wrong with me. And so I said, you know what? I'm just going to contact 12,000 people in the next 12 months. And if I'm not making significant income, then I'm just getting out of this industry. It's not for me. I'll go do real estate. I'll sell insurance. I'll continue to sell printing. I'll find another way to become a millionaire. After 3 months of calling 50 people a day, I had replaced my income at my printing company because of my activity, that I was making contacts. I was networking. I was putting people in my pipeline. I was having people that was falling out of that pipeline and joining because the timing was right. And you need to write this down tonight. Everyone's window of opportunity is open at least once a year. Everyone's window of opportunity is open at least once a year. So see, my thought process was this. If I contact 12,000 people in the next 12 months and their window is open at least one time a year, then I've got 12,000 chances to sign somebody up. Okay? I was a naive, silly kid when I decided to do that over 15, 16 years ago. But that was my strategy. And I said, I'm just going to stop worrying about my business. I'm just going to go do the work. I'm not going to get emotional about it. I'm not going to worry about it. I'm going to put my head down. I'm going to put the blinders on. And by golly, I'm just going to go build my business. And I'm going to work hard for a year. And if it doesn't pay off in a year, then I'm going to quit. So I took the pressure off. So when I called somebody and they hung up, they said, how'd you get my name? I go, you know what? I don't know. Goodbye. Okay? I didn't care because I was looking for people who were looking. And that's the attitude and the posture that you have to start creating for yourself and stop waiting for something to change. You have to change right now, tonight. You got to start getting that kind of posture. And when I did that, the whole world opened up to me because I just blew through the names. I was looking for people who were looking. And it was as if, and this is the philosophy that I took. I went outside my parking lot of my printing company, and we had a pebble or, kind of a gravel, big gravel parking lot where about 100 different cars parked there in the whole complex. And so I sat out there one day, and I said, I'm going to call 12,000 people in the next year. And I'm looking for one person like me. And so I just started thinking, I go, what if there were 12,000 rocks out here in my parking lot, and then under one of those rocks was $1 million check? How fast would I start flipping over the rocks? And I go, well, I'd be flipping over real fast until I got to 400 or 500 rocks and then find a check, and it would get dark. I'd wake up the next day, I'd do it again, but eventually what would happen to me? I'd get discouraged and I'd quit. And then I would start saying, you know what, there's not $1 million check underneath these 12,000 rocks. Someone lied to me. It's not there. Now, haven't you felt that way sometimes about your network marketing business? Is that you just kind of get exhausted, you want to quit, you want to give up, and you say, I'm doing all this stuff, I'm doing all this work, I've turned over 1,000 rocks, and there's no check. So maybe something's wrong with me, maybe something's wrong with my program, maybe something's wrong with this industry. And so maybe I need to do something else, and that's when you get off track. So instead of just turning all the 12,000 rocks over yourself, what do? You go get some people to help you. That's where true duplication comes into place, is that imagine going out, and if I could turn over 1,000 rocks in 10 days, what if I got 12 people to help me? Well, then all 12,000 rocks would be turned over in 10 days, and all 10 of us would split the $1 million check. So you see, that was my philosophy. That was my baseline. That was my foundation that kept me in. And I said, by gosh, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do it for me, not for my sponsor, not for my wife, not for my kids, not for the industry. I'm doing it for Robert Blackman. I'm going to flip over 12,000 rocks. And if there's not a check in there, then I can come back and look at that parking lot and say, you know what, I gave it my all. That's what you have to do in your business. You have to stop sitting on your butt after you turn over 500 rocks and getting discouraged and say, well, maybe I need to try something else, okay? So where are you right now money-wise? Where are you right now activity-wise? Stop waiting for change and go out and do that. You have to change if you want things to change. You've all heard that. Definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again. Sometimes all you need to change is just tweak something. You know, an extra $100 a week gets your attention. If you're married, it gets your spouse's attention. I know when the company I was with, they were paid weekly. I started making an extra $100 on Friday, and my wife would go, wow, I didn't even know what you did last week, and we got an extra $100, okay? $250 extra a week changes your thoughts. What do I mean by that? The $100 got my attention, but what are the $250 a week? That's $1,000 a month. That started changing how I thought. In what way? I think I could really do this. I might be onto something. I could really replace my income with this, okay? And that all came because I started taking massive action, and I set a 12-month goal. And I said, I can't quit for 12 months. I can't bitch. I can't complain. I can't get depressed. I can't talk to my wife about getting into another deal. I've got to work my program for a year, okay? $1,000 extra a week changes your actions forever. That's $4,000 a month. That means when you're at the gas station, you're not afraid to talk to the attendant and say, hey, do you know anybody that'd like to make an extra couple $1,000 a month? I'm starting a new business. I'm really looking for some sharp people. You're really good behind the counter. Have you ever thought about doing something else? That's what $1,000 extra a week does for you. Changes your actions. There's no more fear. Because that person says no, you go, I don't really care. I'm making $1,000 a week. So if you are positive and you're confident and you're wearing $1,000 a week on your sleeve, people will be attracted to you, okay? So you've got to go through these stages, and that's why I sponsor a lot of people now who they say, you know, Robert, I just joined with you because I felt that you were going somewhere. And you were confident, you were positive, you were smiling, you were happy, you didn't BS me, you just gave me the bottom line. And you know what? I'm ready for something like that in my life, Robert, and I don't even know what the product is. I don't know what the pay plan is, but will you teach me? Will you help me? I go, yeah, you bet I will. So see, I kind of cut through all the crap about recruiting and systems and all that. I've got all of those, but the baseline was I had to change me. I had to give myself a 12-month goal, and I ran my printing company, okay, which is your job. If you've got a full-time job or 2 jobs, keep them. Okay? But I made a commitment to myself. $2,500 extra a week changes your life forever. What's $2,500 a week? That's $10,000 a month. I don't care what state you live in. I don't care what town you live in. I don't care what car you drive. When you have an extra $2,500 of disposable income, it changes your life forever. Okay? So I've created a system for myself that I do that with. And I've started that out with ProfitLeads.com, and where I have a 48% conversion rate. The industry average is 1% to 3%. Now, I want to back up. The reason why I created Profit Leads, you have to go back in time with me back into the early 90s, is we were running ads everywhere for our primary business. We put in lots and lots of people. We helped put in 80,000 people in 18 months, and guess what happened? The company blew up, and all the leadership moved to another company, and my check went away. My check went away, okay? So, but I had what? I had all these commitments to do what? Run ads. We were getting great advertising rates because why? We were signing 12-month contracts with publications. So when my check went away, guess what kept coming in? The bills for the advertising. And we went, holy cow, we're in trouble. Not only did our check go away, we're going to go bankrupt because I've made all these commitments thinking that the business would never stop, that the model, the company, the upline would never let us down. And I'm not saying that your company or upline will, but for me it happened. So out of that desperation came an inspiration. I said, you know what? We got to buy all these leads and all this advertising. Why don't we just start a lead company? And why don't we start selling leads to all those jokers in our downline that jumped ship and went to another company where our check went away? So we created ProfitLeads.com, and we did exactly that. And we created a system to where we replaced that missing check in 90 days. So we did not have the financial difficulty that we thought we were going to have. So that's why I started ProfitLeads.com, not because I thought it was going to be a great idea, not because I woke up one day and said, you know, I just love leads, and I just think I want to be a master distributor for a lead company. That's my passion. It wasn't my passion at all. It's because I used the leads to build my primary, and we were buying them, getting tons of leads coming in for our primary business, and we had one source of income. That income went away, and we had the leads coming in. So it just made sense out at that moment in time. I've got to sell these leads to pay the bills because I've committed, and if I don't pay the bills for the leads, they're going to sue me, and I'm going to have to file bankruptcy. So that's why I'm in Profit Leads, folks, and it's been the best blessing of my life because the industry average is 1% to 3% conversion rate to websites. Ours is 48%. We have a $9.95 entry point, and we have a $15.45 pay plan. You don't have to go out and build a super big business with us. You put in 3 people with us, and you break even. You get $105, and you're paying for your leads. Plus, the lead solves problems. It's allowed me to network. Some of my biggest people right now that are in my primary business came into my lead business a year, 2, 3 years ago. And guess what? I just sat there, and I was a great sponsor to them in Profit Leads. I wasn't making any money off them. I was making $15 off of them in our pay plan. They were buying leads from me. I'd send them a postcard once a month. Hey, how's it going at XYZ company? How are the leads doing? Do you need some help? And when something happens, and believe me, folks, something always happens to everyone. They said, Robert, what are you doing? And that's how I use Profit Leads as a recruiting. For me, long term, over the last 10 years, that's what I've done. And I don't contact my Profit Leads people and say, get in my primary, get in my primary. I'm just their sponsor in Profit Leads. I leave them alone, okay? You need leads and training. Everybody does. You need an autoresponder. So I use Profit Leads as my front end, going out and solving most network marketers' problems. I still prospect locally. I do meetings locally, and I still contact people directly from my primary business, but that's what I'm doing with Profit Leads. Here's our compensation plan. We created a compensation plan chart that was easy to read. We had 4 different pin levels that you can come in after distributors. It's $99 a month for 100 buyer leads. We pay out 60% of commissions in the first 2 levels. The reason I'm able to do that because I have so many people frontline to me. We've got lots of breakage, and I can pay out more than anybody in the industry can because I am the top recruiter at Profit Leads, and I've got majority of people, over 90% of the people I put into Profit Leads never sponsor anybody in Profit Leads, okay? Why? Because they're using the leads to do what? Build their primary business. So, and what I do is I show people every single day. Now, I'm going to show you something very exciting about this because I was talking to a guy today who I'm coaching with on phone consultation for a year, and he said, Robert, I love what you're doing at Profit Leads, but I don't have a chart like this. I can't do that kind of model. And I said, you don't have to do that, Joe. And I said, you know what happens? I said, I'll talk to someone and I'll show them this chart, how to make $780 a month with 20 customers. And what it does is it opens up their mind to the possibility of our primary program. Because the Profit Leads business is so simple and easy to do. A lot of other businesses, they're not that easy. There's different mechanics in the pay plan. There's fast starts. There's overrides. There's coding. There's points. There's BV. There's CV. There's PV. And it just becomes, after a while, it's like, man, I got to go to college just to learn comp plans. Okay, so one of the things that I've been able to do with Profit Leads is I created a very simple model. Isn't this simple? I did this in Microsoft Word. This is the most grotesquely inartistic chart you'll ever see. Okay, my 15-year-old son could do a better job in his Mac, his Air Mac. Okay, but I do this because I want to break it down for people and say, look, it's you on the top. Go get 4 people at $100. Help those 4 get 4, and you're making $780 a month with 20 customers. So whether you can use this chart in your primary business or not, I want you to start thinking about creating your own chart in your primary business, because this is powerful. This isn't $5,000 or $10,000 a month, is it? It's $780 a month. And most people are going to say, what? That's a car payment. That could be 2 car payments. That's all of our groceries for the whole month. That's our electric, that's our gas, that's our utilities, that's our sewer and water, and you know what? That's part of our phone bill. If you have a wife in the household, she knows how far $780 goes. Okay, you got a guy, he knows how far $780 goes. So I want to challenge you today. Part of the success for me of putting in 42 people a month, on average for the last 6 months, is I show this chart all the time, and not all those people join me in Profit Leads. It's about a mix, half in my primary, half in Profit Leads. But I give them a number. And they hang up the phone. They don't join that day, and what do? They sleep on it. I email them this chart. They open it up in a PDF, and they go, the guy called me today, and he goes, I got this chart. I've been clicking on it. Nothing works with it. And I said, there's no clicking on the chart. And he goes, well, why'd you send me this silly thing? It's just stupid. And I said, I wanted you to see our model. He goes, this is a silly model. And I go, what do you mean it's silly? He goes, well, it's not advanced. It's not slick looking. It's not 4-color. And I go, okay. I go, if you want to make it 4-color, you can. I go, I'm just showing you the numbers. So 10 minutes later, he joined. So I called him back up, and I go, Jim, why'd you join? He goes, I got to thinking about how I could really use an extra $780 a month, and it's time to get real and stop hyping myself. And I've joined so many programs wishing to make $5,000 a month, and all I've done is spend $5,000 in a year. He goes, I was hoping that by joining with you, you seemed real, that if you could at least show me how to make an extra $700 a month, I'd get some confidence back. And I'm telling you, folks, that's where the majority of prospects are. You have to understand that. So whatever you do in your business, create something that's believable. Give them something to go to sleep on, to where they go, you know what, $780. Because everybody checks their bank balance online today, and everybody would love to see that balance plus an extra $780. And with 20 people, guess what? It's believable. And I'll ask people, can you find 4 people in the next 4 months? They go, yeah. And I go, you're in. You're there. And I show them the math, okay? I'm not going to keep this chart up very long because it's not that important to show you, for you to write all this down. I'll have this available for those of my members and Profit Leads that want it. But I show people the math. A lot of people on lunch hours call me back up and say, well, I'm doing the math and it works out. Yeah, so I'm going to join. Okay? You know, I mean, whatever it takes to see. Why I'm laughing about that is because I've got somebody on their lunch hour double-checking my math. You see the brilliance in that from a sponsoring point of view? I'm not telling them the plan. I'm sending them the plan, and I'm showing them the math. And then what do? Just like the school teacher would do, they're double-checking my work. And it works. Because why? Because now I got them involved. I've got them hooked. They're in the process. And they go, hey, I could put in 20 for 780. Your program could be 10 for 1,000. You see what I'm saying? So it doesn't have to be Profit Leads. So I'm trying to use this as a real-life example. And I show them how much money in the bank they'd have to have in a CD to make $780 a month. When people see the $780, it seems big, but they see the $9,360 a year, they go, that's not that big. That's less than 10 grand. And I go, you know how much money you'd have to have in the bank at 2.5% interest to make $780 a month? They go, no, I have no clue. $374,400. I'm going to tell you right there, I could stop the webinar there, and I could tell you between that first dorky little chart that I showed you, and this right here, that's my hook. That's the bait on my hook that everybody bites. Why? Because I tell them this. If you woke up tomorrow morning and you went in to check your bank balance and you saw something that was sitting over to the right that was in red, flashing, and said CD, and you'd say, what do I have a CD for? I don't have a CD. And you open it up, and it says you have $374,400 at 2.5%. You can never touch the principal, but we're going to send you a $780 check every month for the rest of your life. I ask people, how would that make you feel? They go ecstatic. You see, because if we wake up tomorrow and we see $374,000 in the bank, we put then immediate value to that, and then a smile comes on our face. Confidence comes in. We stand up straight. We walk better. Hey, let's go eat. Hey, let's go out. Hey, honey, that's okay. That's all right. Hey, son, don't worry about that. Just clean it up. Let's go. So we stop taking all of our anger and our aggression off on our loved ones because we have $374,000 in the bank. And when I tell people, you know what? If you put in 20 people in profit leads, it's as if you've got $374,400 in the bank. Because does it matter if the check comes from profit leads or from Chase or Bank of America if it clears? And they go, no, it doesn't, sir. And I go, that's the business. Everybody gets it. So now what have I done? There's a couple of psychological triggers here I want you to be aware of. Number one, I already told you one. They're checking my math. It's believable. 780, 20 people. Wow, I get that. Let me check his math. I'm showing them the math. I'm not hiding anything. It's like revealing the trick, a magician. It's like a magician doing the trick, and then a minute later he reveals what he did, and you go, oh, yeah, I knew that. Okay? So that's number one. And number two. Number three, what have I done? I said CD. That's a certificate of deposit. Every single day, if I'm at a stoplight, I don't know if your town's like mine, but at every stoplight in Norman, Oklahoma, there's at least one bank on the corner. I don't know why. We've got like a zillion banks in this town. But on those banks, when I'm sitting on at the stoplight waiting, what are the banks saying? 2.99% CD, low loan rates, car rates. Okay, so we're used to what? The banks make money off interest, don't they? So when I start equating a CD to network marketing, what have I done? I've taken this business out of the stratosphere of this mystical model, and I brought it smack down to Main Street. You can teach your prospects how to equate network marketing to Main Street, to traditional business, to something they've learned in a book in grade school, junior high, high school, or college, or graduate school, then immediately everything in their brain goes off and goes, holy cow. If I put in 20 people, it's like over $370,000, honey. By gosh, I'm doing it. Because I asked the question, which would be easier for you to do? Over the next 12 months, go save an extra $370,000 and put it in the bank, or just roll up your sleeves and work part-time with me and sponsor 20 people in the next year? Which do you think would be easier to do, more likely to happen? Everybody laughs. They go, of course, 20 people. So that's my secret right there when it comes down to the nitty-gritty sponsoring people about money. And I always tell people this, and I want you to write this down. I always tell people this. Hey, if you got a couple of minutes, I want to talk to you about money. Is that okay? Hey, if you got a couple of minutes, I want to talk to you about money in our program. Is that okay? Why do I do that? Why do I do that? Number one, I get permission. And number two, I set them up to where they clear their mind of all the other questions, the other 32 questions they've got to have answered before they join my program. I read on the policies and procedures. I had a guy yesterday say, I'm on the policies and procedures on 6A, Robert, and it says this. Is that true? And I go, I guess. And he goes, well, you haven't read them? And I go, no. Okay. So that was one of his questions. He goes, well, I think that's it, and I'm okay with that. And I go, well, good. Glad we got that out of the way. All right? So I clear their mind. Hey, if you got a couple of minutes, I want to talk about money with our program. Is that okay? Every time they go, sure. And I go, great. I'm going to send you over this PDF, or if I've got these on the websites too, on Profit Leads, we got an income calculator. I do that online based on, I say, hey, are you in front of a computer where you can do this? Or if you're not, just grab a pen and paper and draw, circle, 4, and then those 4 get 4. That's $780 a month. blah, 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 do you know how much money you have in the bank? So I talk about this. I do a mini presentation on the math, okay? You can be doing the same for your primary business, whatever it is. You got a fast start, a coding bonus, you got a residual bonus, you got a whatever, bonus pool bonus, whatever you got, okay? You know your program, be creative, come up with a model. Hey, you got a couple of minutes, I want to talk to you about money. Is that okay? I get their permission. Then they're listening. They're paying attention. Then the money overcomes what? The 32 questions and the questions about the policies and procedures. Okay? That's why I put in 240 people part-time in the first 6 months of this year, because this is it. This is my presentation. Okay? This is it. That's all I do. If they ask questions, I answer those about other aspects of it. But I'm looking for what? People who want to make an extra $780 a month. Now I'm going to go through here real quick with you, and here's the rates of the bank: 6-month CD, 1-year CD, 5-year CD. You know, these stats are there. I can show people a stat. Okay, if they want to go further, I tell them to go to bankrate.com and look up today's CD rate and do the math and give me a call back. Okay, whatever they need to do. I show them how to get to $780 in 30 days. That's fast tracking. Sponsor 4 people in the next 15 days. You now got 4 people in your first level. Teach those 4 to do the same over their next 15 days. You now got 16 people on your second level. Magic. You're now making $780 a month after just 30 days of just getting 4 people in 15 days, and your downline duplicating you. $780 equals $374,400 in the bank at 2.5% interest. And guess what? It's not at 2.5. It's at 1.7 at bankrate.com. I just checked it today. So that would take $547,368. People go, you're kidding me. That small difference in the interest rate puts it at that. I go, yeah. So if you build a group of 20, it's really more like $500,000. And I go, so let's go on. All right. So I'm blowing their minds. The value. What am I doing? I've just now said my business is worth what? 20 people is worth what? $500,000. Where else can you do that? Where else can the average person spend $100 a month, put in 20 people, and make it worth in street value on Main Street at the corner stoplight next to the bank, make it worth $547,000? Nowhere. Nowhere. That's what blows their mind. That's why they go, I just got to get in. Okay? I want $500,000. Okay? So that's the equation. Now, you know what? 30 days is fast track. Let's say you can't do it that fast. Let's say you do it in 60 days. So now what am I doing with the money? I'm putting it in what? Time frames. We all work in 30-day periods. Sponsor 1 person a week for what? 4 weeks. That's just 4 people over the next month. Think you can do that? Everyone goes, sure. You've now got 4 people on your first level. Teach those 4 to do the same over their next 4 weeks. You've now got 16 people on your second level. Have you heard this before? Yes, I have. You're now making $780 a month after they go, well, Rob, this is the same thing. I go, yeah, but now this, instead of this being 30 days, that's in 60 days to $780. I said, oh, okay, I get it. All right. So now, let's go slow track. I go, let's say you're going to put maybe about 4 or 5 hours a month in this program. You sponsor 1 person a month for the next 4 months. You think you could at least do that? I've never in my career ever had anybody tell me that they could not sponsor 1 person a month for the next 4 months. So now what have I also done? I just kept that person in on auto ship for 4 months, haven't I? Okay? That's the subtlety of what I do. Sponsor 1 person a month for the next 4 months. You've now got 4 people in your first level. Have you seen this before? And they go, everything's the same but the number of months, number of days, right, Robert? And I go, that's right. I go, so whether you want to make $780 extra a month, I always ask, I said, do you want to make $780 extra a month? I ask everybody that. Instead of saying, do you want to join my company? Do you want to drink my product? Do you want to swallow my pill? Do you want to use my service? No. Nobody wants to do that. They have to do those things if they want a result. But what does everybody want? They want extra money. Now, whether they're going to work for that money is another thing, but in their mind, they want it. So every time I ask somebody the question, do you want to make an extra $780 a month? Most people will say, I want to make a lot. Yes, but I want to make a lot more than that. Okay? I ask that question during my prospecting process. Why? Because what are they going to say? Yes. Okay? So if you've ever been through sales training, what do they tell you? Getting a sale is nothing more than getting a lot of what? Yeses. Dealing with the no's, eliminating the no's, getting rid of them, and saying, well, if that's the only objection, if I can handle that objection, Mr. and Mrs. Prospect, and I can take care of that, is there anything else that's keeping you from buying today? You know, that's your traditional car salesman type of sales stuff. Okay, I don't deal with that wording. What I deal with is something a little bit easier for everybody. Hey, would you like to make an extra $780 a month? Yes, I would. Well, you can do that in 30 days, 60 days, or in 8 months. Which one would you like to do? What does everybody say? I'd like to do it when? In 30 days. Okay, well, now we need to get 4 people in the next 15 days. Okay, so that's my system. That's how I go the next level. That's the next layer of the onion that I peel back when I'm talking to people. And all this is just done subtly. But I wanted to show everyone tonight the psychology behind the system. Because now I've been embedded in their mind, and I've burned in their mind a number. 780 with 20 people. Again, yours could be $1,000 with 50 people. It could be $300 with 10 people. It doesn't matter. There's no magic to 780 other than that's just our pay plan with 20 people. The reason I pick 4 people on the front line is because there's 4 weeks in a month. Okay, that's right. Yeah. Well, everyone can sponsor 1 person a week. That's 4 in your first level. Okay. Well, what if they duplicate? That's 16. Well, 4 plus 16 in Oklahoma is 20. Okay. What does that pay with the compressed pay plan of $1,545? That pays $780. Okay. Well, let's go do that. Okay. That was the thought process behind the system years ago when I put it together. And that thought process has made me millions of dollars. It's made sponsoring so simple for me to where I don't sweat it anymore. Because if somebody says, no, I don't want to make an extra $780, no, I don't want to talk about making money, their window is what? Their window is closed. Do I bash their window? Do I throw a rock through it? Do I bang on their door? No. I say, hey, it sounds like the timing's not right. Would you like me to get back to you next month or just scratch you off my list? I want you to write that down. That's my takeaway. Hey, sounds like the timing's just not right. Sounds like the timing's just not right. Would you like me to call you back in 30 days? Would you like me to call you back in 30 days? Or just scratch you off my list? Or just scratch you off my list? I've had a lot of people say, yeah, just scratch me off your list. Hang up on me. It's fine. It's okay. I've got more people. I own a lead company. So I'm never going to run out of people to talk to. One of the biggest stressors of network marketers today is they run out of people to talk to. They don't have enough people to talk to. They just don't do it. They just don't have enough people to talk to. So when you run out of people to talk to, what's going on? Your business is over. From my perspective, what do I say? I have unlimited leads. I've got so many leads, I'll never be able to call them. I could put them in an auto dialer tonight, and I could never call them. So what does that give me? It gives me posture. Your doctor, when you go to your doctor's appointment, do they have posture? Or does your doctor call you 10 times to come down for your annual checkup? When you go to the doctor's office, does he come out and greet you and you're the only one person there and he says, hey, you're here 10 minutes early, I'm going to see you now because you're the only guy I got? Does the doctor then try to upsell you on everything and act desperate? No. When the doctor goes and you make an appointment, and when he calls you, you make an appointment, and if you don't show up, they charge you these days. Okay? If you no-show your doctor, they charge you. That's how much posture they have. Could you imagine charging your prospect, saying, hey, before we get on this call, I'm going to need your credit card number before we book this appointment, because if you miss the webinar, I'm going to charge your card $25. Could you imagine doing that with your prospects? Okay? That's what your doctors have done to you. Okay? That is the ultimate posture. When you go to your doctor's office, what do you expect now? You expect what? A long waiting list of people. Do you ever expect to get in on time on your doctor, whether it's an eye doctor, it's a medical doctor, it's a dentist? Do you ever expect to get on time? No. Why do they have out there? They got magazines. Why? Because they love subscriptions? No, because they know everybody in there is going to be waiting. And they say, look, you're going to be late. You're going to get in late. Read this stuff. Okay? So posture yourself. So if you have too many leads like I do, you have posture. And it's not arrogance. It's just like, hey, just sounds like the timing's not right. Can we call you in 30 days or just scratch off my list? I just say it like that, casual, like they're my friend. Hey, no big deal. Good luck to you. All right? So I don't care if they get in or not. Why don't I care? Because I'm putting in 240 people in 6 months, part-time, because I have a what? I have a boss. Who's my boss? It's the system. That system works, okay? I just got to put in a little bit of effort, and this system works because why? Because I understand people. After 32 years in the business, I understand people. Network marketing is not about pay plans. It's not about product lines, and it's not really about anything but you and your downline. It's just about people. If you understand people, you can put anybody into any program out there at any price if you have the right kind of people skills. Tonight I've showed you my people skills, and they're not slick talking salesman skills. They're what? They're common sense. We always hear that people join on emotion, and I agree with that. But also I believe that how you turn emotion on for some people who are afraid to pull the trigger is you give them the math. You give them the intelligence, okay? You tell them the math. You let them do what? You let them marinate. You let that math incubate on them to where they go, you know what, there's no way in the world I'm ever going to get a $780 a month raise on my job. I've got to do this. Dude, I got to do this. I'm desperate. Okay, I hear that all the time. Got to do this. This is the only option me and my wife have of getting out of debt. Okay, so I give them the number. I don't say 5 or 10,000. Okay, I show them this number right here. That is tonight's training. Okay, that's it. That's how I sponsor one person a day. I show everyone this system, and it doesn't take an hour long to do that. I'll have these slides put up. I have them on a website. I have them in a PDF. And if I'm in person with someone, I show them in person. I have them both for my primary business. I have them for my profit leads business. So if I'm talking to a prospect, I go, hey, Johnny, my name is Robert. I'm calling from Norman, Oklahoma. I see recently you visited one of my websites. Purpose of my call today is to find out, have you already found a program or are you still looking? That's what I call, if you want to write this down, the fork in the road technique, the fork in the road. So when I'm calling someone I don't know, I'm at a fork in the road. I want to know to go left or to go right. Left is they've already found something. Hey, great, what are you doing for leads and training? Right on the fork in the road is, no, I'm still looking. That's my primary business. About a fourth of the people that join my primary business join my lead business. So I'm double dipping on 25% of the people in my group. So I've got 1,000 people in my group, 250 of them are my lead company. Okay? Just made sense to make, because all those 1,000 people in my primary business are going to do what? They're going to go spend $100 or $500 a month on what? Advertising, generating leads, blowing it on stuff that doesn't work. So they might as well be what? In my lead program. If you just go back to profitleads.com tonight, you see we have 2 options to come in. We got a video there. It's real simple. $9.95 for a 30-day trial. When I'm talking to prospects, say, money's pretty tight. I go, do you got $9.95 to kick the tires for 30 days with me? Yeah. Everybody I talk to has what? $9.95. Okay? So I overcome the money objection how? By offering something that I know they can afford. So if they say, well, then I know money's not the issue once I reveal that. So see, I use my leads program to deal with what? The money issue for my primary business, because my primary business is a lot more expensive to get into than $9.95. So I use that, and I build a relationship with people, and I understand everybody needs leads. We all need gas in our car. That's why I look at leads. Leads are the gasoline to your network marketing business. You want to write that down tonight. Leads are the gasoline to your network marketing vehicle. I got 2 cars out front right now, a minivan and a truck. If I go out there and I turn the key, there's no gas in it, it doesn't go anywhere. Leads are the gasoline to your network marketing vehicle. Not just for you, but for your downline. So if your downline doesn't have gas in their car, can they get to work? No, they cannot. You got to get them on the LEAD program. That's why we did $9.95 for 100 of them. That's 5 people a day. Can you call, email, and mail? Call, email, and mail 5 people a day, Monday through Friday, for your financial future, yes or no? So I asked 5 people. Okay? Can you call, email, and mail 5 people a day, Monday through Friday, for your financial future, yes or no? Somebody tells me no, what does that do? That helps me size up what? Their window is what right now? It's closed. But 90% of the people will say, sure. Matter of fact, I could call, more than that. Okay? So that's my system. That's how I get people who are anxious, who can't, or undecisive, they can't make a decision, they're on the fence, they don't want to call me back. People don't want to call me back. Here's the last message I leave them. You want to write this down. Hey, John, this is Robert. We've been playing some phone tag. Hey, John, what I want to do today, I've got an opening at 8 o'clock, and I want to talk to you about making money. I've got this program that can make you some money, and I want to talk money tonight. If you want to talk money tonight, give me a call back, buddy. Thanks a lot. That's the last message I leave them. I don't chase people. If you don't want to talk money, then guess what? My honey don't want me to talk to you, okay? Because she wants me to make money to pay our bills and to take our trips and provide for our 5 kids, okay? So that's, and again, that's not mean. That's not arrogant. That's just reality. Hey, John, give me a call back tonight at 8 o'clock. I've got an opening. I'd like to talk to you about making money tonight. If you want to talk about money, give me a call back. If some guy doesn't want to talk about money, then his window is what? Closed. So I send him the system, I work this system, and I do it every single day. This is my boss. Tonight, I just introduced everybody on this webinar tonight to Robert Blackman's boss. And you know what? I love my boss. I love him, or her, whoever it is, her, it doesn't matter. I love it because it doesn't lie to me, it doesn't cheat, it doesn't steal from me. It's not inconsistent. It doesn't say one thing to do another. My boss is consistent because my boss knows this. If I can show another human being this system and this process, they're going to join because it just makes so much sense. And they try to disprove it. They go to sleep at night with that dorky-looking chart, and they come up and they do math at work the next day. They get their wife on the phone with me. They get their upline on the phone, and they question it. Okay, how can you pay out this much money? How can you do this? All these silly questions. And just to avoid the fact that they're emotionally going to have to commit and join, either my primary or my lead business, guess what? 25% of them do what? They do both. That's how I was able to put in 240 people part-time while I've been consulting the first 6 months of this year. And because I've been doing so much consulting's not what? Consulting is not residual. My goal in doing consulting over the last couple of years was I was hoping and praying that I could be part of a network marketing company and I could be a national marketing director, make 1 or 2%. But you know what? I tried this for 3 or 4 years doing consulting, and it just stinks. It's not working for me. So what am I doing? I'm going to go back full-time into network marketing. I recently had the pleasure of speaking at Eric Worre's event, the Cold Market Mastermind, and I did a whole segment on direct mail. All this stuff you're seeing here, everything's digital, everything's on the webinar. Guess what I mail out to people? I'm mailing this stuff in the mail. I mailed the charts to them. I mailed that dorky-looking chart. I mailed the math to them, okay? We go back up here to the math. I'm going to show you right here. I send them this chart in the mail right there on a Microsoft Word document, and I send them that. I mail that to them. Why? Because I want them, like homework from a 5th grader, I want them to be writing all over that sheet, double-checking my math with the calculator. I've had people say, hey, I've been checking your math all night. Looks good. I'm going to join. I go, great. Okay? So I'm back. I'm back to going full-time, and anyone who wants to join with us in Profit Leads, guess what? You're going to get my full attention because as of the end of July, my last consulting agreement is over, and I'm done. And I'm going up to Eric's 90-day. Eric Worre has a 90-day Blitz program. It's $997 for a 2.5-day weekend. I'm taking myself there. Either my wife's going to go or my business partner or my primary business is going to go. And we're going to go put together a 90-day blitz for both Profit Leads and our primary business. We're going to do meetings here in the Oklahoma area, and we're going to blitz it out through the internet, because the fact that my dream that I had being part owner of a network marketing company or being a national trainer for a company didn't work out, okay? Didn't work out. And you know what? I'm really glad it didn't, because that was going to take a lot of time, a lot of travel. We got a new 11-month-old baby called Annabella. That was a surprise for us. We were blessed with that. God blessed us with a new baby. And so my wife said, you know what? Why don't you stop chasing that dream and go back and build your original dream and build your downline big. Start making $100,000 a month again in residual income. I said, okay. So that's where I'm at. I want everybody on the call tonight to know that you can copy, use any of this stuff for your business where I make no money off of it. I challenge you to do that for your primary business, because this technique works no matter what the numbers are. It could be $300, $3,000. Well, don't go that high. Don't go over $1,000, but keep it believable. Use it. Hope that inspired you tonight. And if you want to join the LEAD program, again, just go back to profitleads.com and get involved. But just know this. I do the work, and I stop buying into that work ethic. The 4-hour work week, I've read that book. I think it's great for about a dozen people in the world. And eventually I'll get there, okay? But you know what? When you're doing what you love, it's not work, is it? When I go golf for 5 hours, it's not work. It's fun. But I come back and my back's hurting. My knee hurts. My neck hurts. I've lost 5 pounds sweating, okay? That's work, but it's fun. But it doesn't seem like work when I'm doing it. So don't buy into the facade that's out there. That, you know what, if you just bought my $495, $4,905 system and put it in place and drive traffic and generate traffic, that something magical going to happen. You know what? Never happened for me. And for those that did happen for, great. And while they were all out being magical, I created this little system that anybody could do that's made me a very safe, secure income in a 100% commission industry called network marketing, which I love. So anyway, thanks for being on the webinar tonight. Any questions? You guys know my name. You know my number, my email. Give me a call. Send me an email.